Want to know a secret about me? I was a pussy for about 23 years of my life. A grade A. I was a coward. I was one of those kids who, instead of, in the sports class like PE in school, it is fucked, in it. Like, you only do exercise for 1 hour a week in school. We had this, right? Oh, it's time to play sports. It's time to do some shit, right? I wasn't even, like the fat kid who got picked last or anything. I was the kid who didn't even bring his clothes in so that I had to just kind of sit there in my uniform instead because I didn't like exercise. I didn't like the way that it would feel. When it came down to studying, let's say I had an exam in a few days, I wouldn't do it. Now, that exam may have been important and it probably was so needed for me to just sit down and do some work, and I wouldn't do it because it just felt too hard and I needed something easier, like playing RuneScape. And even on RuneScape, a video game that I was addicted to, I still needed to go and do the easier things. I didn't even do any of the really hard quests. And if I was gonna do one, I would autistically follow like a YouTube tutorial, take me hours, and I hated it. I just wanted to do like the easier stuff, like just sit around and just talk to people next to the bank. When you compare that younger version of myself to where I am today, to the body that I've built over 1,000, maybe 2,000 workouts, to the global movement, the cult that we have created here, the leader that I have become, it's like two different people. Oh yeah, it's boasting and stuff, but I've become very successful. And there's a formula that you can follow that took me from the pussy who didn't want to do anything hard or difficult to the guy who just like, this is all I do now. And it doesn't even feel hard anymore. It feels like just fun to do. There's two ways to trick your brain into loving hard work. But first, we'll begin with some words from Adonis. You may only discover the purpose in hard work if you are working hard. The first strategy that you can use to transform your life forever and actually get into doing these hard things like studying, working on a business, and actually making some money so you can provide for your family, getting into the gym and building a good body. The first thing is to improve your mental health. What we see around the world today is this global problem of young men's mental health being absolutely trash. There is a guy that you know who will kill himself within a couple of months. You probably know who it is. Now, that's obviously the extreme side of this, but even the average guy has such poor mental health these days that even things that shouldn't feel hard actually do. Because when we really break this down, how would we even think something is hard? I know this is a silly question. How do we know something is hard? Well, it's our mental perception of it. It's our brain, it's our mind telling us that that thing is hard. So if we improve our mental health and we improve our mind, surely what our mind would think is hard would start to increase. We would have higher standards for what is difficult. And this is definitely true because you've seen this. If you've had this period of depression, like a lot of guys have had, or if you've seen this in some friends, some people, when they're depressed, they think that brushing their teeth is hard. When you have shit mental health, brushing your teeth is hard.